Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. You got myself, Noe Pedro Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro Ruiz, creative tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
Oh yeah, this is the show where we combine 3D printing, DIY electronics, we smash them together to make inspirational projects for you folks at home or office or wherever you may be.
That's right, every week we come to share custom designed projects featuring custom design circuitry.
That's right, every week we have some lovely assortments of stuff, but first, coupon code.
That's right, 10% discount gets you, or Filament. Enter in Filament.
Our coupon code is Filament. It gets you 10% off your order. It is Filament because this week's project is how to use 175 filament, 1.75 millimeter filament on the Ultimaker 2. That's right. We've been using 175 filament on the Ultimaker 2 for a long time now.
I think we used like maybe one spool of the 3mm
that
it comes with.
Yeah, and we went through that pretty quick.
That's right.
And we've just invested into a ton of 175 filament.
It's all we have in the shop, so it makes sense to figure out that we figured out how to use that on there.
And it's actually pretty easy. There's some steps that you do have to follow in order, but we put together a nice guide, which is live right now. You can check it out. It's in the link below. You can check out our video.
Fancy little video that goes along with that.
Goes along with it.
See all the steps for that.
Yeah, but surprisingly, there's like 0 additional hardware modifications. There's just one little screw in the back of the feeder there that you adjust the tension to make sure it snugs tightly on.
That's right.
The filament.
That and a little song and dance you have to do when changing out the filament.
The great thing though is the Ultimaker has a really nice interface, so you just follow the steps and the menu stuff, and you can actually adjust the filament diameter in the LCD.
That's right. So use discount code Filament during checkout. You can get 10% off. And of course, if you get a printer, you'll get free shipping along with that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that after the segments. Let's go run it through the segments. What's on the show? What are you prototyping?
That's when we take a look at what we're working on for a future project.
Then we'll do a layer by layer.
That's when we talk about what we do to design every project.
We'll do a shop attacker.
That's when we talk about new things that are coming into the shop.
And then we'll do a Q&A.
Answer your questions.
From the YouTubes. And then our favorite one, Community Makes.
So we highlight makers that are out there shaking things up.
Maker shakers. That's right, folks. All right, well, let's talk about some deals that we got going on. Adafruit.com/free.
That's right. While supplies last, you get a bunch of tiers depending on how much you spend.
If you spend $100 or more, you get a half-size Perma Proto board. That's the PCB board. Very nice thing. For $150 more, you get a free trinket, the 5-volt version. $200 more, that means a printer, you get free shipping.
That's right.
That's an awesome deal. Bad for us, great for you. No, I'm just kidding. 250 more, you get all that stuff, the free shipping, the Promo Proto, the 5-volt trinket, and a Pro trinket.
And you don't even have to do anything. It just gets automatically added to your cart. You can't even take it off if you want.
Yeah, you have to get it. Like, you can't not get it.
So Halloween is over. That means Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming up, which means holiday shipping is coming. I think the deadline, last date, if you want to get orders in before Christmas, which will be like, around Christmas or December 24th, you have to get your shipment in by December 11th.
December 11th.
That's if you're using ground shipping. It'll take up to a month actually to do the worldwide shipping. So I would
order now.
Order now or order before December 11th. So you got about 40 days or something like that to get that last order in before the year and all that craziness starts. So
I would get my orders in now. Order some plushies. Get the stuff for the kids. Get the stuff for the kids.
Let's jump into our first segment.
All right. What are you prototyping as our first segment? Of course. Here's the photo of it and the overhead over here. Finally got the overhead.
So last week we were showing you the very cool LED panels that are coming into the shop very soon. Oh yeah. And I made an adapter which converts Sony batteries into a bunch of the battery mounts that we have in the shop. So this one is for the Canon one. We also have ones for Panasonic and the Nikon ones. Yeah. So very handy. We'll release the source files once we have that in the shop. Okay. So all this does is convert the Sony mount into whatever other mount you want.
Yeah, this is a great use of 3D printing. Really good use, really useful as well.
And of course, this was printed using 175 on the Ultimaker, so very handy there.
That's right, like every project now has been on 175.
Yeah, like we said, we've used this like for printing the Wasp helmet, which
literally hundreds of hours.
Oh yeah.
So trust us, it works.
Yeah. So the LED panels that were coming in. Next thing that I'm moving on to. Last week we were talking about making some barn doors, which is very handy for controlling the cutoff of where the light is hitting it's very common in studio settings where you want to, sort of adjust where the light's hitting.
And I was actually looking it up on Amazon. They're like $200 for these panels, man.
Just
for
the
panels.
Flaps.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so this is very handy. So when you want to control where the fall off is for that. Very cheap way to do it with 3D printing, of course. We already figured out how to do the hinges on other projects, and we have the frame around this that holds everything together.
Okay.
So let me turn this off.
You actually printed this on coffee PLA, huh?
Yeah, so the framing for this is all being held together like that, and we have the hinges on the side. And the next step, once we get these in, or before we get these in, I'm going to get the have like a bat signal. So using dual printing with our transparent filament that we have in the shop. We'll make like an Adafruit or like a bat signal. Yeah.
Adabot signal.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Pretty cool project there for lighting up
as well.
So when you want to document your projects or just do some filmmaking stuff, we have a bunch of camera projects.
Yeah, for Shop Talk, we'll talk about
making and video always always hand in hand. So
absolutely.
This will be a nice, handy addition to your arsenal of tools.
We have some photography gear that we'll talk about in the Shop Talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you've been prototyping, making a lot of progress, Pedro. My last week's project was the Flying Purple People Eater, and I have started on a new project using the 3.5-inch Pi TFT and the Pi B Plus here. And I'm going to make a wearable. It's going to go on my wrist. And it's going to be a Pip-Boy 3000 MK4.
That's right, with the release of Fallout 4,
which comes out November, I think, 11th.
Yeah, so they are releasing actually their own, but it's in limited
quantity.
It's
sold out.
Completely sold out.
It. Yeah,
there's no way for them to make more. So
yeah, it was a little hard for them to manufacture it, but we're going to be making this. Obviously, I've already started on it, and yeah, this is the components that we're going to use. So if you want to pick this stuff up now, get it before they sell out. You know? So again, that's the 3.5-inch, the Plus version. That's specifically for the Raspberry Pi Model B.
Yeah, I think we used it before on the little Pi laptop.
That's right. It also works with the Libretto Pi. So this is going to be really fun.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's a pretty big wearable. Obviously, the challenge there is going to be making it fit on different wrist sizes. So we're going to, of course, release the source file so that you guys can modify it. Or maybe I'll make it sort of different sizes, like
maybe NinjaFlex padding or something like that.
NinjaFlex padding, some foam and stuff like that. Even I read a review about it on the one from the official one is even a little too loose. Yeah. It's a little bit too big. So yeah, that's going to be the project I'm working on, and I'll share with you guys progress as we go along.
Again, if you want to pick up any of these components to start building your own, discount code for this week is Filament.
That's right. Filament. Okay, let's go ahead and moving on over to
this week's Layer by Layer.
This week's Layer by Layer. Okay, so last week, of course, what the project was the Flying Purple People Eater. And let me cue this up here for you folks.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some freeform modeling.
Yeah, so if you guys check a look at last week's project, we have the link for you. You can open up in Fusion 360 or download it, but I really wanted to showcase sort of the parametric timeline that you get in Fusion 360. So at the bottom there, I'm scrolling through all the little things that are applied, all the operations, all the booleans that are made. They're all saved there. So this helped me out tremendously because I was able to sort of step backwards and do modifications in the form editor. So if you look at the pieces here, there's two pieces for the face piece, and that's what I'm going to be focused on. You can see there's a lot of different things applied to it. So there's a lot of combines, a lot of unions were made to these pieces. But even though you have all those features applied to a sculpt, T-splines, you can still modify this. So check this out. If I wanted to change the lips, for example, I can step back and pick the certain feature. There's the little icon, so I can double click on that, and then it takes me back to that sculpting environment. And I can come in here and make little edits. So if you guys wanted to modify like the facial features for this, you can totally do that and not have to redo everything. So I'm in here, I'm pulling just one of those edge loops. I can hit what is it? The little checkbox up there at the top that says, verify I'm done with my form, and then that'll shoot you back over. And then all those edits, all those things that you applied to it, carry over. Typically, I would have to have different versions of it. Like say if I did this in 123D, I probably couldn't at all because it's such a freeform shape. But if you did have something like that, you would have to track back before you did all of those sort of splits and combines. So that's really cool. I just ended that. Another thing is if you don't know what the icon is, you just click on it and it selects that feature blue. So you can see that is associated to that little wing over there, and it's just a mirror, so that's why it only selects one. That's where the lip is. I click on the next one after that, and that shows you the teeth, so I can still modify all these little features and things that have been merged. In the main piece here, so this is the main body feature, right? Before I did all the splits and things like that, I still have completely modifiable, editable body feature here. So what I ended up doing is when I first printed it out, and I did all my cuts and splits, it was too small. I didn't fit all the components, so I had to stretch it out. So I can still do that. You can, let's say you have a bigger doorbell area, you can come in here, or if it's a smaller doorbell, you can come here and stretch it out. And that's what's really cool about freeform modeling, is that you get these really nice forms when you stretch things out. And another thing is cool is that you get this sort of ghost overlay, so it shows you what it looked like before you made the thing. So it's really nice. It's a lot like clay, like I've said before. So if I like this, I can just hit form. It's going to take a little bit, like a minute, depending on how much features you did. Obviously, it did for me because there's a bunch of features, but just look at how other objects that were derived from that sort of carry over. So you can see the bottom panel is adjusted. But not everything is fixed. So take a look at some of the features here. You can see the little housing for the slide switch is, the distance didn't go carry over through it, and the lip isn't carried over because it was an offset from a sketch. But you can really come in there and fix everything up. So it wasn't too hard for me to do that when I made that. It seems like a really big edit, and it is, but it's nice that you have a parametric timeline. So that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. Definitely get into Fusion 360 or something like it that has parametric modeling, because it'll save you a lot of stuff, versioning built into it, so that's really nice. But when you have that timeline, you really don't have to open an older version. You have that timeline, parametric timeline. So there you have it, folks. Again, check out the project. Check out the video if you haven't already. Very, very cool project in collaboration with Phil B, of course. And yeah, very cool project. Check it out. It's also good for Christmas. It makes a great stuffer, something like that.
It makes a very good doorbell themed for any holiday.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't have to be a doorbell either. So there you go. Check it out, folks. If you want to pick up the parts that were used in this project, like the teensy board or the TFT display,
or all the filament that requires for this, we're using NinjaFlex for all the little.
That's right.
The wings, we're using the glow-in-the-dark filament for
purple UV LEDs, all sorts of little things like that. Check it out. 10% off, or Filament will get you 10% off your order. There you go.
Check it out.
All right, that was layer by layer, folks. Very fun. Now we're going to jump into Shop Talk?
I think Shop Talk, yeah.
Wow, that was quick. We're running through the show real quick. Yay, it'll probably be 30 minutes long. Okay, so I guess we'll start off with some new things in the Adafruit shop. Here we go. Yes. What do we got this week?
So, like I was saying before, makers and camera gear always go hand in hand, and we've been looking to get a lot of these little parts to get, combined 3D printing projects and photography, videography. A lot of our projects that you've seen before, like the Raspberry Pi displays here, they always utilize the little 3/8 to quarter 20 to so you can have this attached to like a tripod.
Yeah, it's a standard tripod thread, folks. It's the quarter 20. So
and in a lot of the video projects, you always see us. Oops.
Thank you.
So a lot of the project videos, you always see us using this, and in conjunction with the little mini ball head.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd get a bunch of these in the shop. If you look around, like say Amazon, these things cost like upwards of $10 or more, and all these come in like packs of 5, so you can't like get one-offs or a cheaper version of these. We have these at a very reasonable price on the store. If you check out the site there.
Yeah, so we got the swivel ball head for you. It's at $5, folks.
This is about like half of what you would see anywhere else. Yeah, and they're very high quality too. I was surprised when we got some of these samples in compared to one of the ones that we had before. Yeah. They're made very well.
Yeah, in addition to just being able to put things on it, you have a cold shoe and even an additional thing here. Yeah. So I use this heavily on the, you can't see it, sorry.
Yep, go back to the overhead.
Yeah. This camera slider project heavily uses all of these pieces. I actually have the adapter. You want to show the adapter there?
Yeah, so...
And show you what you would need this for.
Okay, so the little platform that hooks onto the base.
Yeah, the camera platform.
You're using the little D
D-ring.
D-ring on there, so that simply snaps onto there, or it screws in like that.
That's right.
And we
That's
have
a cool
a little
feature about it.
cold shoe bracket that can go onto there as well. And the reason we do that is so you don't have to disassemble this whole part.
Yeah.
And this just slides into there like that.
That's right.
Yep.
There's a tensioning screw as well. It might be too tight, but yeah, there you go. You can take off sort of your whole little camera, and mainly I used it because when I was putting it in a bag and moving it around from place to place.
Yeah, you can easily take that off like that.
It keeps it nice and flat, and as short as possible, compact as possible.
Yeah, that's right. So also with almost all of these have a little 1/4-20 on the bottom, so you can easily connect this to something else like a tripod, like that. And a lot of the ball heads also very handy for having a little 3/8 inch to 1/4-20, since those have the bigger threading for that. And of course, like we were saying before, all of the Raspberry Pi or display cameras utilize these a lot. And you can have these multiples of these, like we've done before.
Wow,
so
I
you can
forgot
have
about
it
that.
as a portrait mode or as landscape mode.
There you go.
And very handy little, I call them like Lego pieces for all your camera gear, because you can combine these in a million and one ways to fit any project.
Some of the older projects that I would love to revisit, of course, the camera LED rings that utilize the NeoPixel rings.
Oh, yeah.
You can make those now a lot more mountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've went ahead and updated a couple of our photography projects with these pieces, and Lamar did an awesome job on the descriptions too, so you can find exactly what you would want to use these little pieces for. Yeah. So
very
pick
high
them up
quality,
now.
all metal, milled. Did a fantastic job on all these projects.
Cool.
Products.
Yeah.
So definitely check these out.
They're hard. It's kind of hard to source. Like if you look on Amazon, they're hard to link too. So that's another reason why we got them in the shop. So yep, you can get 10% off if you pick them up. Make them even cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Filament. That's the coupon code.
Speaking of filament, we got brand new spool from Proto-Pasta. We have the magnetic iron, which has the very cool properties of being able to attract magnets. So the project that we were using this before with was the D20.
That's right.
So what we were using this for was to have the magnets hold on to the little magnetized part, so you could take this apart a little bit better, so we could have the magnets hold on a little bit better to these.
There's all sorts of different projects that you could use this for, but not just being magnetized, you can polish it. So you can take a close look up here. It's actually been polished. So you can see it's really nice and polished.
Unpolished.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you can see the difference in that.
Awesome. Yeah, so of course it's going to work with all the printers in the Adafruit shop. 175 filament works of course with the Ultimaker.
No heated bed required.
That's right.
And works lovely on Bowden.
Okay. When you compare it to some other metal composites like copper
fill,
fill or bronze fill, it's actually lighter. It feels the same as PLA. So that works nice. Obviously, if you want to do something like some frigid magnets or some prosthetics that use magnetic stuff, it's as light as PLA. So that's kind of good.
Now we want to remind people that this is not magnetic itself. It just attracts magnets.
That's right.
So just got to keep that in mind. And of course, you don't want to use this as like bushings or anything like that. It's still plastic. As you were saying, it's lighter than the bronze fill or the copper fill.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. But also, like iron, it has the property after you've sanded this down, it can rust. So if you want to do that, you can accelerate that by mixing it with like vinegar and like salt.
Oh wow!
To accelerate the rusting effects.
Yep.
So very cool weathering techniques you can do with this awesome filament by the folks over at Proto-Pasta.
Yep. Big shout out to a few folks at Proto-Pasta. Again, you get some
10% off.
Yeah, get 10% off. Okay. More shop talk stuff.
The Adafruit channel is now live on the new Apple TV. We got our shipment in.
That's right. Let me pull that up here. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so the mistake that I made was ordering it on.
Oh, there it is. Sorry.
When it launched live, and lo and behold, it was available in all the stores, like at Best Buy. So every time we went to the mall, we were like, oh man, I want to get one, but we already have one coming in.
It's okay. So
like
we waited
3-4 days later. So a little bit of a, because I wanted to make a project for this to promote the channel, but I'll work on this a little bit later. It's going to be just a simple Apple TV mount, so you can have it as a caddy to attach this to your TV or the wall. But here it is. If you haven't seen enough of the unboxing videos, or like the the feel of the remote has Siri on it. You noticed right away when you were playing with it. What did you notice?
It's really fast, and I think it'll work pretty well as a little game thing. I haven't played many games, but yeah, it'll be fun to do some casual gaming.
You were actually testing a couple of the games that are on there.
I was. So let's take a look at the interface real quick. There you go. To search for it, there's no link. You just have to search for it, ADA, and it'll come right up. That's what it looks like. Download is really, really fast. You get a couple screenshots, but just get it right away.
I really like the way that the Adafruit logo comes up on there while it's loading.
Yeah, so we got a couple shows on there. Big shout out to Colin Cummingham. I know you know Colin. He developed the whole app. He actually got a little beta from Apple before it launched so that you can test it out and deploy it properly. Another cool thing is that it works really well with the Master Easy Link features on most HDMI TVs. So that means that we can use the volume button. Now we don't have to use 2 controllers. We can just use 1 controller, the Apple remote, which is really nice, like Pedro was saying. And that's pretty much it. We got a couple shows up there for you. We do have to host them ourselves. Yeah. So we have them up on the Amazon AS3 servers. And we got a couple of our most recent 3D Thursdays. We got Circuit Playground, Colin's Lab, of course, some features like the folks that visit the Adafruit shop on Manufacturing Day. And of course, Wearable Wednesday, a lot of episodes from Becky's show.
And be on the lookout for a brand new Colin's Lab coming up pretty soon.
Oh, sneak peek, folks.
A new Circuit Playground.
Well, not sneak peek, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely check that out if you're on Apple TV. We had some people asking,
Roku? Can we do Roku? Yeah, I think Kirby asked.
Colin does a lot of development on that. He has to do. He does all of the iOS apps. He does, Colin's Lab. He does Circuit Playground, in addition to doing all of the other, engineering work.
If we get more request demands, I guess. If we get a lot of requests, like PT really sort of pushed forward for this one because he really wanted to have somewhere beyond YouTube to start hosting our stuff.
Yeah, but definitely good to see an easy way to watch on the couch with the whole family, all the shows.
Yeah, so totally.
Check it out if you get one.
Okay. Well, let's do another
coming
kind of
soon,
thing. Coming soon thing.
Tomorrow, launching on Pi Day.
This is a sneak peek, folks. This is a new video series from Tony. Tony's going to start doing, of course, he's been always doing a lot of Raspberry Pi projects, but he's putting together some videos. He really wants to up his video game. He got a new camera. He got the Canon 70D.
Of course, we hooked them up. So of course we hooked them up with all the software that we use here at Adafruit, all the Premiere, all the Colorista stuff. So he went to town on all this, got everything together, figured everything out on his own.
Yeah, he got a nice little turntable rotating stuff.
Awesome job on putting all this stuff together.
He's putting some time into CAD. He actually used TinkerCAD to make this 3D printed sort of camera noir, the Raspberry Pi camera noir. So he's making a sort of a trackable project. He wants to track his cat Carmen, if she's getting what she's eating at night, when she's like on the table, being naughty or not. Yeah. It's nice that you can even do it with just a regular box too. But he went all out and added some LEDs.
This, went into TinkerCAD, modified some models,
put
together the whole video,
and the
really library for this. So
that's right. So be on the lookout.
Yeah,
for
he's definitely doing it.
Projects from Tony. Very cool stuff, sir.
Of course, I haven't seen before the very cool Minecraft block project that he did before, and all of the many contributions, all of the GitHub repos that he's always pushing and pulling on that.
You can always see Tony on the Show and Tell on Wednesdays as well.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's going to be it for Shop Talk, folks. You want to move right along
this week's Community Maker.
Do you want to go to that next? Okay, hold on. All right, folks, let's jump into Community Makes.
So every time we upload a project on Thingiverse, if you make one, make sure to click on that I made one button, upload a photo of your made and a quick little description on any of the settings that you use, anything you learned during the process, any post-processing techniques, or anything of the printing settings that you used to help other makers, and we'll send you a very cool vinyl UV-coated sticker you can place on the project or just show off.
Yeah.
Very awesome sticker here. And if you go above and beyond that, like modifying the project or figuring out a new technique, you will be sent out a very cool 3D iron-on badge that you can attach to, like, say, a hat or your backpack or any article of clothing. Very cool.
Yeah, so this week we want to spotlight, big shout out to you, Aidan, XYZ Aidan on the YouTube. On Instagram, he is a frequent show and teller. Let's check out his YouTube channel. We're going to link it below, of course, but you, sir, are being awarded a badge. like Pedro was saying. Yeah, so check out Aidan. He is doing a lot of 3D printing and soft robotics, a lot of casting techniques, learning a lot of stuff, sharing it all the time. So check out his YouTube channel. Recently, he did a nice review on soles, which are 3D printed, customized soles for feet. He did some great coverage at Maker Faire. We actually interviewed Aidan, so if you did not check that out, be sure to check that out.
That's right, he's always working. I think last week he showed the tiniest little actuator that he's made. So he's, like you were saying, working on mold. So he's got all that down, working with electronics, 3D printing, mold making for soft robotics. Definitely someone to watch.
Yeah. Also on Instagram, I'll link that as well. It's a nice
you can see
log.
all the behind the scenes of his upcoming projects as well.
That's right. A lot of silicone casting.
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. All right, Aidan, thank you so much for sharing your stuff and being just an overall awesome dude, man.
Doing it, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, so that was Community Makes again. Be sure to post your projects up. Of course, we share a lot of projects on the blog as well. So if you're doing customized stuff, we'll reach out to you.
Yep.
Okay. One last thing I wanted to share, folks. It's more of a shop talk thing, but remember that Halloween project thing, the Halloween contest that
It's still going on.
It's still going on, folks. So here we go. Here's
what
the
did
tab.
you say it was the time of this recording?
Yeah, the time of this recording, it says 6 days left, but that's because it's on a Tuesday. But on Thursday, you'll have about 4 days left. So get on that. There's 231 entries. It's going to be really hard for anybody to judge this, but there's just so many cool projects. If you just want to get inspired for the next Comic-Con or something like that, there's so many things being made. I really hope that, oh my God, the DIY resin gun. Oh, the dude made one. That's awesome. I want to make one too.
Yeah,
with 3D printing.
If you look at the list for upcoming projects, it's going to be a lot of cosplay and Raspberry Pi projects.
Cosplay is huge. Video game stuff. We really want to just make a bunch of cool, fun stuff as always.
So definitely look through here for any inspiration for, say, next Halloween, or like you were saying, any other cosplay event coming up.
Yeah, so next week we'll, I guess, announce the winner, whoever that's going to be. Good luck to you, sir and madam. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for that segment. We got a little bit, whatever brain. But now we're going to do Q&A. This is where we answer your YouTube questions.
Remember, you can leave any question on any of the videos, and we'll gather them up for a future episode.
That's
First question comes from...
Yep, the first question is over here. Let me see if I can get to it. There we go. This one's from Trace Crumate, I think. Hi, I'm interested in buying the M3D printer, and it's just in my price range, but should I wait until Cyber Monday? Also, what is the best 3D design software and 3D scanner for 3D printing?
So we don't have any inside info, any Cyber Monday stuff, but...
if you go on Facebook, they have like a $50...
Yeah, for the retail box, yeah.
Okay, so you can get it for like $350, I think.
I think it's $399 or $400, something like that.
$350,
yeah, if you want to save up a little bit closer to Cyber Monday, definitely do that.
Sure.
But in terms of best design software, we like Fusion 360.
Yeah, I would say like it starts off like Minecraft, there's one, and then TinkerCAD, and then 123D, and then Fusion 360.
Yeah, each one gets you ready for the next step up. So
yeah, and then there's some ones that are in the middle, like MeshMixer, which lets you do some really fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really sort of personal bias when you say what's the best, because I love people that use Rhinoceros. I love people that use SolidWorks. Those are very kind of the same but different. Maya, come on, we love Maya.
Yeah.
3D Studio Max.
And as you see,
ZBrush. There's so many out there.
Yeah, and as you see. As you start your 3D printing journey, that you're going to use more than just one program. So just be familiar with all of them.
Yeah, it's all about getting an STL out, watertight mesh, nice and clean manifold design.
And then the third
3D scanning.
3D scanning.
What
We're
is the
looking
best
at
3D
some
scanner?
3D scanners. The Connect.
Sense? The iSense?
The Connect scanner with the what was it? The Connectix? Skinect.
Yeah, that's what Phil B used to model Aaron's head.
Awesome. Yeah.
But if you don't have any hardware, all you have is a smartphone, an Android phone, check out 123D Catch. That's a free one. I'll link that below too.
Yep, that works. It's how we did a lot of our scans for doing like our little statue bodies.
Yeah, that's how we got started, yeah.
Yeah, so that's...
we even did like a really tall tiki one. You could do rooms and stuff too. Yeah. But the one thing you have to know is that they all require a little bit of mesh fixing.
They
right?
will
Making
all
it
require
watertight.
Fixing, yeah.
Watertight
so
mesh.
that's where MeshMixer comes into play. You'll want to learn how to play with that. And we're looking at some of the other portable ones that like work on your iPhone that's basically using the Connect software with the eye sensor stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at some more.
Yeah, more 3D scanning stuff is coming. So thank you for that one, Trace.
That's right.
Appreciate your question. Okay, next one. This one's from Howie. Is Adafruit going to provide the case pre-made for those of us who don't have access to a 3D printer? This is on your 7-inch multi-touch tablet for the Raspberry Pi.
Definitely not.
The answer is no. I'm sorry, sir, but that's why we carry 3D printers in the shop. We have all sorts of different price ranges, all sorts of sizes, obviously to cater to everyone. And if you don't have access to one, I would say double check that. Double check your Makerspace, your library. And if you're out of luck on there, go to 3D Hubs and get it printed by somebody else who is looking to make some monies with their 3D printer.
Unfortunately, though, after first, second,
you're gonna
third,
you're gonna lose some money. So you might as well save up your money to get a 3D printer.
Yeah.
The material cost is so low for these projects. So you know,
so
in the long run.
As a company, there's no way you can make money. We need to
logistically,
produce
we can't
very fast.
Yeah,
like
it
the
takes a little bit
chips,
too long.
Takes seconds, minutes to make. A case can take upwards up to 4 to 6 hours, especially like the 7-inch Pi, and it's not really that the yield that you get on that is pretty low too. You always have to monitor it and watch it, so it's just not. That's why we sell the printer and encourage you guys give away all the files, because
that's the whole point of these projects, sir. All right, well, thank you, Howie. Good luck in your sort of 3D printing journey. We hope you invest into a 3D printer. Okay. Next one up is from John Guy Smith. Cool tutorial, just wondering if I can build 2 of these to work with my Raspberry Pi 2, and if so, how? This is on the DIY Bluetooth gamepad. So all you really need is a Bluetooth adapter for your Raspberry Pi. Hook it up, set it up, and then you can use multiple easy key Bluetooth modules. I've tested it out with my MacBook. They all have different unique IDs, so you can have multiple ones, so it's not a problem. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, you can totally do it.
Yep. Like I said, just one dongle.
Just one dongle to rule them all. Yep. To control them all. Whatever. Okay. Thank you for the question, John. Next one is from Pika Drew. Yeah. This is on the Purple People Eater project from last week. Are there any measurements on the Acrylic Cabochon? Yeah, so this is a 1.5-inch Cabochon. I have it linked in the tutorial and in Phil B's tutorial. You can pick one up from Tap Plastics. I guess I'll have a link for you in the description below, but
definitely don't forget to check out.
Always check the descriptions. We always have that link to the tutorial.
Yeah. Always on there.
That's right. So check that out, Pika Drew. Thank you for your questions. That is going to be it for this week's questions.
That's right.
And that's going to be it for this week's show. So again, I guess we'll run through the this week's coupon code. If you want to pick up some electronics or some filament, you can use the coupon code Filament to get 10% off your order.
That's right. Expires at 11:50 a.m. tonight. Doesn't work on software or gift certificates.
Did you say 11:59?
11:59
p.m. Okay, cool. That's right. Because at 12 a.m.
It expires. Yeah. So use Filaments to get 10% off, and of course we got all of the awesome goodies to go along with until supplies last.
You can go to adafruit.com/freebies to learn more. And again, warning:
December 11th is the last day that you want to try to get everything in before then if you want it to come in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Before Christmas.
Adabot will deliver you some goodies. Cappy's driving. You got Connie in the background there, and I think Mo is underneath the car making sure it runs. Okay, well, we want to leave you guys off with, of course, some links. Check out the Adafruit Learning Systems. You can find Tony's project for this week. You can find our project for this week, Phil B's project.
You can find everybody's project.
Becky's project.
More
people's. Yeah, learn@adafruit.com. If you want to see some cool projects that we're sharing from the community, you can always check out the blog and Google Plus's page. We're there. Twitter, Instagram, Thingiverse. We got some behind the scenes stuff for you all the time. Always sharing some stuff, so you can get some behind the scenes there. We want to, of course, let you guys know the lineup of shows start off on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern, her and friends. Sometimes it's Colin Cunningham, sometimes it's Jess Calafino, our lead support, doing some awesome projects, tips. You can win some prizes as well. Good stuff around with Wearable Electronics. later in that evening, we have our show and tell, which is every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. This is where you come to share us your project, your progress, your makerspace, your retro stuff. Right. It's always a good time. A lot of usuals like myself, Tony. Sometimes Phil B stops by. Always have a good time.
We're always there every week, so stop by, say hi.
Yeah, stop by and say hi. Okay, and then after that at 8 p.m. on the Wednesday, it is a full hour of Lamar and Phil. New products, it's where the new products get announced. Open source news, Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and more. So
Sometimes
be sure to check them out.
Top secret things that they share.
Yeah.
So definitely don't miss that. Tune in every Wednesday for all their shows.
Also, from the desk of Lady Ada, thank you, Periscope. If you haven't already, check that out. They also do a YouTube live thing as well. So be sure to check out the YouTube gaming app so you can get a notification when they start the stream. It's kind of random. It's really random, and that's what makes it fun. Yeah. But Lamar and Phil are having a great time doing it, and thank you guys for watching it. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be it for this show, folks. Again, thank you so much for watching. We'll come back here next week and share some progress on the new projects and things. But be sure to keep on making. Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.